Seniors. They're hiding these 7 herbal teas. It's been crushing cancer for years. Are your joints stiffer than they used to be? Is your energy low, your sleep restless, or your stomach just not what it once was? For many people over 60, these symptoms feel like the natural wear and tear of aging. But what if they weren't? What if there's something simple, something hidden in plain sight, that could quietly reverse these patterns and even do something far more powerful, like fight cancer at the root? Because the truth is, there are teas you've likely never heard of that go beyond comfort and warmth. These are herbal teas used for centuries across cultures, and only recently studied in modern labs. What they're finding is extraordinary. Compounds in these teas are showing anti-tumor activity, DNA protection, detox power, immune enhancement, and inflammation control. And yet, you won't find them promoted in the headlines. You won't see them advertised by pharmaceutical companies. Why? Because they can't be patented. They grow in the wild, they've existed for generations, and they can't be owned. But here's the real shock. Some of these teas are now being quietly removed from shelves or discredited in articles that never mention their clinical studies. Seniors are the group that could benefit the most, yet they're the ones least likely to be told. That ends today. What you're about to hear might shock you, because these teas aren't exotic, rare, or hard to find. They're just hidden behind years of confusion, half-truths, and neglect. In this video, you'll uncover the 7 herbal teas that have shown the most promise in crushing cancer, especially in the aging body. You'll learn why they work, what to watch out for, and how to start safely using them today. Let's begin with a gentle but powerful herbal tea that could be the most overlooked cancer fighter in the world. Number 7 is a tea that many seniors walk past without a second thought. You've probably seen it in corner shops or health food aisles, sitting quietly on the bottom shelf with a name that sounds almost too gentle to be powerful. But this flower-based infusion has been used for thousands of years, and recent research suggests it might be doing far more than relaxing the body. We're talking about chamomile tea. Yes, chamomile. But not the sleepy bedtime cup you might be picturing. What most people don't realize is that chamomile contains a flavonoid called apigenin. And apigenin isn't just calming. In laboratory studies, it's been shown to induce apoptosis in cancer cells. That's a fancy term for something remarkable. It tells the cancer cell to die, and the cell listens. Unlike healthy cells, cancer cells have lost their ability to self-regulate. Apigenin appears to help restore that control. A study published in Oncology Reports found that apigenin triggered significant cell death in breast cancer lines without damaging surrounding tissue. But it gets better. Chamomile also helps regulate estrogen, reduce chronic inflammation, and calm anxiety, all of which have direct ties to cancer development, especially in seniors. Chronic stress weakens the immune system. Long-term inflammation creates the perfect breeding ground for rogue cells to grow. Hormonal imbalance feeds tumors silently. A tea that soothes all 3? That's not just a bedtime drink. That's a daily defense tool. Still, many people sip it too late, or too infrequently. They think of it as an occasional treat instead of what it truly can be, a strategic ally. And here's where most seniors miss out. You might drink chamomile after a stressful day, or when your stomach feels upset. But if you're boiling it for just a minute or two, or if you're letting it sit too long, you may be weakening the very compounds that make it effective. Apigenin needs at least 5 minutes to fully infuse. The water must be hot, just below boiling, and the steeping should be covered. Why should it be covered? Because apigenin is delicate. Letting steam escape can mean losing some of the most beneficial parts into the air, and timing matters too. Drinking chamomile in the evening is useful for rest, yes, but to tap into its anti-cancer benefits, it's often better used in the late afternoon, when cortisol levels begin to rise again, and inflammation peaks for many seniors. This helps the body stay in balance before bedtime, reducing the stress signals that trigger cellular damage during the night. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if this tea is helping me? That's a fair question. Most people don't feel something dramatic the next day. But over time, seniors who drink chamomile properly report subtle but important shifts: less bloating, better sleep quality, reduced joint pain, fewer headaches, and in some cases, a calmer digestive system and a noticeable drop in anxiety without needing supplements. If you've been dealing with tension in the body, especially if it feels like your nervous system is always on, chamomile may gently guide you back toward a healing state. Does that sound familiar? Feeling wired but tired, restless legs, a flutter in your chest that isn't quite panic, but isn't quite peace either. You're not imagining it. Your nervous system is carrying the memory of decades of stress, and many herbal teas work on this layer, quietly, patiently, but powerfully. Here's the good news. Chamomile is one of the safest herbal teas available. It's non-addictive, it doesn't interfere with most medications, and it's been used safely by people of all ages for generations. Still, if you're on blood thinners or have allergies to flowers in the daisy family, talk to a professional first. But for the vast majority of seniors, chamomile is a gentle door to something deeper. It helps the body return to a baseline where healing becomes possible. And if you're thinking, how can something so simple fight something as dangerous as cancer? Remember this. Cancer doesn't grow overnight. It develops slowly, over years, fed by inflammation, fear, toxicity, and imbalance. A tea like chamomile may not be a cure, but it creates the conditions where your natural defenses can thrive again. And that might be the most important thing we can do. If even one part of this video has helped you so far, or opened your eyes to something new, take a second and subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more people like you, people who are ready to age with clarity, confidence, and strength. And if you'd like more tools like this, daily guides, and access to a supportive community, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. It's our private network of seniors who are rewriting what aging looks like, one smart habit at a time. Now let's keep going, because the next tea on this list isn't just powerful. It was once banned from the market for being too effective. Number 6 is a herbal tea that has sparked controversy, admiration, and even fear in medical circles. And it's not because it's dangerous. It's because its results have been so remarkable, some questioned whether they could even be real. We're talking about Essiac tea. You may not have heard of it, and that's by design. It was once used in cancer clinics in Canada, given to patients who had exhausted all other options. Some claimed it shrank tumors. Others said it gave them energy, appetite, and clarity when nothing else could. But most of all, it became known for doing one thing exceptionally well: cleansing the body on a cellular level. So, what is Essiac tea really? It's a blend. 4 core herbs: burdock root, sheep sorrel, slippery elm, and rhubarb root. Simple plants, each with their own modest benefits. But together, something extraordinary seems to happen. Research into the blend is still limited, partly because of how fiercely it's been debated. Yet early lab studies have shown antioxidant and immune-boosting effects strong enough to warrant further testing, and anecdotal reports continue to pour in. People over 60 say they feel lighter, clearer, and more resilient after just a few weeks of consistent use. But why is this tea so powerful, for seniors in particular? The answer lies in what your body is trying to do every single day. After 60, your liver works harder to clear out toxins. Your kidneys become more sensitive. Your lymphatic system slows down. All these systems are part of your internal cleanup crew. But as time passes, the trash piles up faster than the workers can remove it. And when those systems lag, toxins stay in the blood longer. Inflammation rises, cell damage begins. This is where Essiac tea may help. Burdock root, for instance, supports liver detoxification. It also has anti-inflammatory properties that can lower chronic swelling in joints and tissues. Sheep sorrel has been shown to contain antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, which are unstable molecules that attack healthy cells. Slippery elm coats and soothes the digestive tract, helping with nutrient absorption and gut healing. And rhubarb root acts like a natural purifier, gently stimulating the bowels and reducing the toxic load that can build up in your colon. Now think about the symptoms you may be feeling. Do you wake up groggy, no matter how long you sleep? Are your legs more swollen than they used to be? Is your thinking a little fuzzier, your skin less vibrant, your digestion slower? These might seem like normal signs of aging, but they're also signs of internal congestion. Your body is sending you messages, and it's asking for help. Have you felt this too? A kind of dullness that settles in. Not illness exactly, but not vitality either. You're not imagining it. Most people ignore this until their energy disappears or a diagnosis forces them to pay attention. But there's a better way. Here's the good news. Essiac tea is widely available again, though you'll want to make sure you get it from a trusted source. Look for organic blends with no additives. And when you brew it, follow the traditional method. Boil the herbs gently, then let them steep for hours. This long process is part of what activates the full profile of the plants. Drink it once a day, ideally on an empty stomach, and give it time. It's not about a quick fix. It's about giving your body a tool it can use quietly in the background. But don't make the mistake most people do. Don't expect to feel something dramatic overnight. The magic of Essiac tea is subtle. It works behind the scenes, cleaning, restoring, and helping your body come back to equilibrium. It's more like tidying a cluttered room than fixing a broken pipe. It's gentle, steady, and powerful when used with consistency. And that's where many seniors give up too soon. They try it once or twice, don't feel different, and move on. But if you've been accumulating toxins for decades, the cleanup can take a few weeks. Imagine washing a window that's been fogged for years. It doesn't become clear with one wipe. But give it time, and suddenly the light comes through again. Now, just a word of caution. Essiac tea is generally safe, but if you're on medication for liver or kidney function or have chronic digestive issues, talk to your healthcare provider first. You want to support your body, not overwhelm it. This tea has helped thousands of people regain their sense of vitality, clarity, and even joy. One man in his 70s described it like this: "I didn't realize how heavy I felt until the heaviness lifted." That's the quiet power of this blend. Let's now talk about number 5, and this one might really surprise you, because it's not just a tea, it's also a medicine. It's been used in traditional healing for centuries, and yet very few seniors know about its unique ability to target inflammation, fight harmful bacteria, and even support immune function at the cellular level. We're talking about Pau d'Arco tea. The name might sound unfamiliar, but the benefits are profound. Pau d'Arco comes from the inner bark of the tababuya tree, which grows in South America. For generations, indigenous communities have brewed this bark into a strong, earthy tea to treat everything from infections to joint pain. But more recently, researchers have started to explore what makes this tree bark so powerful. And they've discovered something interesting. Pau d'Arco contains compounds called naphthoquinones, especially lapachol and beta-lapachone. These compounds have shown anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial, and even anti-cancer properties in lab studies. Now here's where it gets interesting. Inflammation is at the root of almost every major health problem in older adults. Arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, even certain cancers all have one thing in common: chronic inflammation that never fully turns off. And while painkillers and other medications may help temporarily, they don't address the deeper issue. Pau d'Arco, however, works differently. It helps regulate the immune system, calming it when it's overactive and boosting it when it's weak. That's a rare and valuable balance, especially as we age. But let's talk about what this actually means for you, day to day. Have you noticed more stiffness in your joints in the morning? Maybe your fingers don't bend like they used to, or your knees ache after walking, even for a few minutes. That's low-grade inflammation at work. It slowly wears down cartilage, tightens blood vessels, and weakens your muscles. And over time, it can even affect your memory, your energy, and your ability to sleep through the night. That's why a tea like Pau d'Arco could be a game changer. It doesn't just numb the pain. It targets the underlying cause, the microscopic damage happening inside your cells. And the best part, it's surprisingly gentle. Seniors who drink it regularly say they feel more mobile, more flexible, and more clear-headed within a few weeks. But it's not just about movement. One of the more fascinating discoveries around Pau d'Arco is how it impacts gut health. Your digestive system houses a large portion of your immune cells. When your gut is out of balance, maybe from too many processed foods or too much stress, it can trigger immune responses that spill over into the rest of the body. Pau d'Arco helps kill harmful bacteria and fungi in the gut, including Candida, which has been linked to fatigue, brain fog, and skin issues. And when the gut heals, so does everything else. You might be wondering, though, is it safe? That's a smart question. Like many potent herbs, Pau d'Arco should be used wisely. Drinking a cup a day is generally considered safe for most seniors, but very high doses or long-term use without breaks may put strain on the liver. So if you have liver conditions or take medications that are processed through the liver, check in with your healthcare provider before adding this to your routine. Another thing to remember, quality matters. There are many Pau d'Arco products on the market, but not all of them use the right part of the tree. Some include the outer bark, which is far less effective. You want inner bark only, ideally organic, and tested for purity. And one more tip, brew it slowly. This tea needs time to release its compounds. Steep it for at least 15 to 20 minutes, preferably in a covered pot. The taste is strong, slightly bitter, but it's a flavor you may grow to appreciate, especially when you know what it's doing inside your body. Now pause and ask yourself, have you been dealing with symptoms that never quite go away? Not sick enough to see a doctor, but not well enough to feel like yourself? Pau d'Arco might not be the cure, but it could be a tool. A way to support your body's natural defenses. A way to clean up the mess that modern life leaves behind. And that's the deeper message here. Herbal teas aren't magic bullets, but they can be powerful allies. They work in harmony with your biology, not against it. They ask your body, what do you need? And offer support without overloading your system. It's a different kind of medicine. One rooted in patience, balance, and respect for how the body wants to heal. So here's what I suggest. Try Pau d'Arco tea for 2 weeks. 1 cup a day, brewed properly, and notice how you feel. Do your joints feel easier? Is your digestion smoother? Is your mind just a little bit clearer? These are the signs your body gives when it's moving toward healing. Up next, we're going to talk about a tea so effective it's been used by cancer patients to regain their appetite, restore sleep, and even reduce tumor-related inflammation. But it's not what you think. Number 4 is a tea that's often overlooked because it sounds too gentle to be powerful. But don't let the name fool you. Lemon balm tea is one of the most calming, brain-supportive, and potentially cancer-preventing herbal teas available. And what's more, its effects on the aging brain are especially remarkable. Let's start with what you already know. Stress is a silent killer. Seniors often carry hidden stress, worry about loved ones, sleep troubles, financial uncertainty, or the simple fear of losing independence. That stress might not show up as anxiety or panic attacks. Instead, it simmers quietly under the surface, raising cortisol, tightening blood vessels, and triggering inflammation. Over time, it damages your brain, heart, and immune system without you even realizing it. This is where lemon balm steps in. This tea is like a gentle hand on your shoulder when you're overwhelmed. It contains powerful compounds like rosmarinic acid and eugenol that calm the nervous system, reduce oxidative stress, and even improve cognitive performance. In fact, several studies have shown that lemon balm improves memory, attention, and mood in older adults. One 2003 study published in Psychosomatic Medicine found that seniors who took lemon balm extracts experienced significantly improved memory and calmness compared to those who didn't. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mind. It weakens your immune system, making your body more vulnerable to infections, slower healing, and yes, even cancer. Researchers have found that stress-induced inflammation can disrupt the normal life cycle of cells, making it easier for damaged or mutated cells to grow and spread unchecked. Lemon balm tea doesn't just soothe your nerves, it supports your immune defense at the root by keeping stress hormones in check. And this shows up in daily life in ways you might not expect. Do you ever feel like you can't fully relax even at night? Maybe your thoughts race when your head hits the pillow, or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep because your brain won't stop talking. Lemon balm has been used for centuries as a natural sleep aid, and for good reason. It promotes deeper, more restorative sleep without leaving you groggy in the morning. Let's bring this closer to home. Think about the last few weeks. Have you had days where you felt unusually irritable? Times when your memory failed you in small but frustrating ways, forgetting names, losing track of your keys, or feeling like you walked into a room and forgot why. These aren't just senior moments. They're signs that your brain and body are running on empty. Lemon balm tea offers a quiet kind of support, not flashy, not instant, but consistent and deeply nourishing over time. Now let's talk cancer. While lemon balm is not a cancer treatment, it has shown interesting potential in lab studies. Some researchers believe that its antioxidant content helps protect cells from DNA damage, one of the first steps in cancer development. A 2014 study in Molecules found that lemon balm extracts had cytotoxic effects on certain cancer cell lines, including breast and brain tumors, without harming healthy cells. Again, it's not a cure, but it's a tool. One more layer of natural defense in your daily routine. And that's the key. With herbal teas like lemon balm, it's about small, consistent choices. 1 cup a day signals to your body, you're safe, you're supported, you can rest and heal. That simple act reduces the burden on your heart, calms inflammation in your gut, and gives your brain the break it desperately needs. But to get the full benefit, you have to brew it right. Lemon balm is delicate. Use fresh or dried leaves, not pre-packaged tea bags if you can help it. Steep in hot water for at least 10 minutes, covered, so you don't lose the aromatic oils. Drink it in the evening, about an hour before bed, or during the day when you feel overwhelmed. Some seniors like to combine it with a little chamomile for a double calming effect. What's even better? It has very few side effects and is safe for most people. But if you take thyroid medication or sedatives, speak with your healthcare provider first, just to be safe. Here's what I want you to remember. Your body doesn't need to be pushed to heal. It needs to be reminded. Reminded of balance. Reminded of calm. Lemon balm tea does exactly that. It reminds your nervous system that it doesn't have to be in fight or flight mode all the time. It reminds your immune system that it can stand guard without attacking everything in sight. And it reminds your brain that deep rest is not only possible, it's necessary. Have you ever felt like your body is carrying tension you didn't even know was there? Like you're holding your breath without realizing it? This tea may be exactly what you need to release that grip. Coming up next, we'll look at a tea so powerful it's used in traditional cancer protocols in parts of Europe and Asia. Yet hardly anyone talks about it. Number 3 is a tea that sounds more like something from your spice rack than a healing tonic. But don't underestimate it. Turmeric tea, especially when brewed correctly with a touch of black pepper, is quietly becoming one of the most researched and respected herbal drinks in the fight against inflammation and cancer. And yet, very few seniors are drinking it in a way that actually unlocks its healing power. You've probably heard about turmeric by now. Maybe you've even tried sprinkling a little on your food. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not just the turmeric root that holds promise. It's the active compound inside, curcumin, that does the real work. And to get it into your bloodstream, especially after 60, your body needs help. That's why simply drinking turmeric tea on its own won't give you much benefit. But combine it with heat, a fat source, and black pepper, that's when it starts to act like a natural medicine cabinet. Let's look at what curcumin does in the aging body. Chronic inflammation is a major driver of disease as we get older. It wears down your joints, clouds your thinking, and silently creates an environment where cancer cells thrive. Curcumin has been shown in studies to reduce the activity of inflammatory molecules like NF-κB and KOX2, the same targets that pharmaceutical drugs often go after. Except this time, you're getting those effects from a golden orange root that's been used for thousands of years. Now here's something truly remarkable. A review published in the journal Cancer Letters found that curcumin not only helped prevent the growth of cancer cells, but also triggered apoptosis, cell death, in various cancer types, including colon, breast, lung, and prostate. And unlike chemotherapy, which damages healthy cells alongside cancerous ones, curcumin seems to have a selective effect. It targets damaged cells while leaving the rest untouched. But what about real-world results? A small study out of the University of Texas found that when patients with precancerous colon lesions consumed curcumin daily, many of those lesions either shrank or stopped progressing. That's not magic. That's what happens when you remove the conditions that allow cancer to grow: chronic inflammation, free radical damage, and immune system confusion. Think about how that might apply to your life. Do you experience stiffness in your knees when you wake up? Brain fog after meals? Mild aches that seem to have no clear cause? These are the small signs of underlying inflammation. And if left unchecked, they can open the door to bigger problems down the line. But turmeric tea, taken consistently and properly, can help reduce that internal fire. So how do you make it work? Here's the trick. You need to combine turmeric with black pepper and a fat source. The pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by over 2,000%, and the fat helps shuttle the curcumin into your bloodstream. A simple recipe might be this: half a teaspoon of ground turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a teaspoon of coconut oil or milk. Steep it all together in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes. Stir gently and sip slowly. The warmth helps open your circulation, and the flavor is earthy and comforting. If you're not used to the taste, start small. Even half a cup per day can begin shifting your body's inflammatory state in a more peaceful direction. Some seniors like to add ginger or cinnamon for extra taste and benefit. The key is to make it a habit, not a one-time remedy. Here's a question you might be asking. If turmeric is so powerful, why isn't it a more common part of senior care plans? The truth is, it's not easy to patent plants. Pharmaceutical companies can't profit from it the same way they do with synthetic drugs. So, despite mountains of research, it remains quietly tucked away in health food shops and ancient healing traditions. But that's changing. More and more doctors are recommending turmeric for arthritis, digestive issues, and even mild depression. Because when the body's inflammation comes down, so does pain, fatigue, and emotional heaviness. The body starts to feel lighter. The mind gets sharper. Sleep improves. And for seniors, that can mean the difference between just getting through the day and actually enjoying it. Let's bring this closer to your daily life. Imagine waking up with less stiffness in your legs. Imagine being able to go for a walk without that dragging heaviness in your knees. Imagine sleeping through the night and waking up clear, not groggy. That's what balancing inflammation can do. And turmeric tea is a gentle but mighty ally in that journey. Have you tried turmeric tea before? If so, were you using it with black pepper and fat? Many people don't, and that's why they miss out on the full effect. This one tweak can turn a warm beverage into something that nourishes your joints, protects your cells, and gives your immune system the confidence it needs to fight back. And while turmeric tea isn't a cure for cancer, it creates an environment in the body that is far less welcoming to disease. That's the quiet power of herbs. They don't force, they guide. They whisper to the body's natural systems and remind them how to function well. If you've felt even a spark of hope so far, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. We create videos like this for people just like you, people who want to feel better naturally. And if you want daily herbal recipes, routines, and support from others who are aging with intention, visit thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's where the real conversations happen. Next up, we reveal a herbal tea so potent it's been used for centuries in Eastern medicine to balance the immune system and block tumor growth. And yet, most people have never even heard of it. Number 2 might not be in your cupboard. In fact, it might not even be in your local shop unless you've been specifically looking for it. But this tea has been used in traditional medicine for over 2,000 years and is now backed by powerful modern science. It's called astragalus root tea, and it's one of the most underrated herbal tools for immune defense, cellular repair, and slowing the aging process, especially for seniors. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. Astragalus doesn't get the headlines that green tea or turmeric do, but quietly, researchers have been studying its impact on everything from cancer to telomere length. That's the protective end cap of your DNA that gets shorter as you age. And when your telomeres shorten too much, your cells begin to die or mutate. That's part of the reason you feel more tired, heal more slowly, or experience age-related decline. But what if you could slow that shortening down? One study published in Aging Cell found that compounds in astragalus, specifically called cycloestrogenol, could activate an enzyme in your body called telomerase. This enzyme helps rebuild telomeres, potentially slowing biological aging at the cellular level. In simple terms, drinking this tea regularly might not just make you feel younger, it could actually keep your cells younger. That means more energy, stronger immunity, and a lower risk of age-related disease. Now let's talk about its role in cancer prevention and healing. Astragalus has been shown to stimulate the body's natural killer cells and macrophages. Those are like your internal cleanup crew, seeking out abnormal or cancerous cells and tagging them for removal. In several studies, including one published in Phytotherapy Research, astragalus extract helped increase the effectiveness of chemotherapy while reducing its side effects. That's not just a boost, that's synergy. But you don't need to be in treatment to benefit. Many seniors are walking around with what's called low-grade immune exhaustion. Your immune system doesn't shut down, but it's slower, less alert, less responsive. That's why you may take longer to bounce back from a cold, or why your wounds take longer to heal. Astragalus helps reset and reawaken your body's defense systems. It doesn't overstimulate, which is important. It supports and strengthens without pushing your system too hard. If you've ever felt like you're always just on the edge of getting sick, or if you're dealing with lingering fatigue that doesn't quite make sense, this might be why. Your body isn't broken. It's just been worn down by years of quiet stress, inflammation, and environmental toxins. And astragalus root tea is like a warm, steady hand that guides your immune system back to balance. What does it taste like? Mild, slightly earthy. Some people compare it to the gentler side of chamomile, but with a deeper base note. It blends well with other teas too. You can combine it with goji berries or ginger if you want to enhance the flavor and healing properties. Brew it as a decoction by simmering dried root slices for 15 to 20 minutes, then strain and sip. You can also find it in tea bags or powder form if that's more convenient. One caution. If you're on immune-suppressing medication, Always check with a qualified health provider before adding astragalus. Because while it helps regulate immune response, it might interfere with drugs designed to suppress that function. Beyond immunity and aging, astragalus also supports kidney function, cardiovascular health, and even helps stabilize blood sugar levels. That's a wide range of benefits for one humble root. It's no wonder that traditional Chinese medicine refers to it as a qi tonic, which means it restores the body's vital energy. Now think about this. Have you ever had periods in life where you just couldn't get your energy back no matter how much you rested? Or have you noticed cuts taking longer to heal than they used to? Or bruises appearing out of nowhere? These could be signs that your inner defenses are underperforming. Astragalus doesn't replace those defenses, it retrains them. What's especially encouraging is that this isn't some trendy superfood that will disappear in a few years. Astragalus has been used across generations, it has history, it has data, and it has a gentle safety profile that makes it suitable for most older adults when used correctly. Here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your life to start benefiting. You just need to be consistent. A small cup of astragalus tea each morning or evening could gradually rebuild the resilience your body has been missing. And over time, many seniors report improved clarity, stamina, and even mood. Because when your body isn't constantly fighting low-level threats, it can focus on living fully. Now, get ready. Because the next tea on our list is the one you've been waiting for. It's well known in the natural healing world for its anti-cancer properties. But the way it actually works in your body will surprise you. Most people are brewing it wrong and missing its real magic. Number one is a tea that many people have heard of, but few truly understand. It's often recommended casually in wellness circles, and you might have seen it in health shops or sprinkled over food in powdered form. But beneath its bright color and mild flavor is one of the most potent healing agents in the herbal world. We're talking about turmeric tea. You've probably heard that turmeric is good for inflammation. But what most seniors don't realize is that turmeric, when prepared properly, does far more than soothe sore joints or calm a cranky stomach. Inside turmeric is a compound called curcumin, and it's this curcumin that's been turning the heads of cancer researchers, gerontologists, and even neurologists for the past decade. In fact, more than 6,000 peer-reviewed studies have looked into turmeric and its health properties. That's not hype, that's science. And many of those studies focus on one powerful truth. Curcumin helps shut down chronic inflammation at the cellular level. This is important because chronic low-grade inflammation is now recognized as a silent driver behind many of the health issues seniors face: arthritis, memory loss, fatigue, high blood pressure, and yes, even cancer. Now here's what's fascinating. When inflammation goes unchecked, your body is constantly in a state of stress. Your immune system becomes confused. It starts attacking healthy tissue, or failing to spot dangerous cells. That's when rogue cells can start to grow unchecked. Tumors don't develop overnight. They thrive in an environment of stress, poor circulation, and immune fatigue. Turmeric tea interrupts that cycle. It helps create an internal environment where healthy cells can thrive, and abnormal ones are more easily targeted by the immune system. One study published in Cancer Letters showed that curcumin can suppress tumor initiation, progression, and metastasis. That means it not only helps stop cancer from starting, but also slows its spread. And it does this without harming normal cells, unlike many pharmaceutical treatments. But here's the twist. Turmeric on its own isn't enough. Curcumin is not easily absorbed into the bloodstream. That's why simply sprinkling turmeric on your food may not be doing much. To unlock its power, you need to combine it with black pepper. Piperine, the compound in black pepper, boosts curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo. 2,000. So when you make turmeric tea, always add a pinch of black pepper. You can also include a small amount of fat like coconut oil or almond milk, because curcumin is fat-soluble. That means it dissolves better and travels further in your body when paired with a healthy fat. Turmeric tea doesn't just fight cancer. It supports brain health by increasing levels of BDNF, a hormone that helps new brain cells grow. It helps regulate blood sugar, which is vital for seniors dealing with prediabetes or energy crashes. And it supports the liver, your body's main detox organ, which often works overtime when you're on multiple medications or dealing with long-term inflammation. Have you ever had brain fog that just won't lift? Or mornings where your joints feel like they've been glued together overnight? That's inflammation talking. That's your body asking for help. And turmeric tea could be your answer. It's not a quick fix, but with regular use, many seniors report feeling clearer, more mobile, and even less anxious. The taste is warm, slightly bitter, with a golden hue that makes it feel like a sunrise in a cup. Try simmering a teaspoon of ground turmeric with a cup of water, a crack of black pepper, and a splash of almond milk or honey. Drink it slowly and give your body time to adjust to this healing rhythm. There's something comforting about sipping something warm and knowing it's working on a level deeper than you can see. That's what turmeric tea does. It works below the surface, at the root level of your health, protecting your cells and encouraging repair instead of decay. And here's a powerful truth. You don't need to wait until something goes wrong to take control. Prevention isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about preserving energy, clarity, and independence. Turmeric tea is one of the simplest, most time-tested ways to do just that. But most people skip it because they assume it's too strong, too exotic, or too complicated. The truth is, it's simple, affordable, and it's likely sitting on a shelf not far from you right now. So here's what we recommend. Choose one tea from this video that spoke to you. Start with it. Brew it daily for a week. Listen to how your body responds, then try adding another. Small steps, taken consistently, can create massive change over time. And if you want help figuring out what works best for your unique needs, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's where our growing community of like-minded seniors shares their experiences, swaps tips, and builds daily routines that support longevity and energy. You'll find herbal recipes, morning rituals, and wellness insights specifically for adults over 60. And if you found this video valuable, take a second to subscribe. It helps us reach more people like you, people who are ready to age with clarity, strength, and confidence. You've just learned the truth about teas that have been quietly transforming lives. Now it's your turn. Brew a cup, take a breath, and step into the next chapter of your health, calmer, stronger, and more informed than ever.